I do still believe in the playoffs that Wiggins will elevate his game somehow, some way. So, tell me what your opinion is on that too.
Great call. Get better. Elevation sensation, right, for the ankle. I would say
Rice.
Rice what?
Rest, ice, compression, elevation.
Never heard that. Wow.
Yeah,
Evan, I'm going to put you on the spot. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I think they touch that like in high school. That's how you remember just the steps.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with what I don't know that I did know that. But I'll say a stretch 4, Steiny. That's what I'd want if I could put something on this team. A 4, an active 4.
I'll take Jokic.
Man, they play him Wednesday. Send a message. What would you take? You want to bet?
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet on that, Mal.
You know what?
I'll bet on that.
No, I just got a feeling this early.
Oh, yeah, straight up. Let's bet straight up.
Tomorrow after tonight.
Oh, tomorrow after the game.
Got to check the piggy bank. But go ahead. What would you put on this team?
What?
He said, what position? What would you add? Darn. Dude, you can't play that. They stink. The Sharks are terrible, but go ahead.
You know what? I'd really have to think about it. I really would have to think about it.
Well, what'd you have to choose from? You got to narrow it down.
About 3 different things, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, mine, where I was at.
Some kind of big guy, I guess, would help, but it's got to be the right kind of big guy. I'll tell you what, I would almost say you know what they need? They need an athlete. They need
that talk
6'9" athlete.
TJD on line 1, Steiny. I ain't saying he's Amari Stoudemire, but
he's not.
But I get excited about him like you're saying athlete, and I know, dude, he's God when I see him finish those shots, man. I'm like, that's what they need, just more of. He's got the ability to get some more minutes easily. If he were to take advantage
if the season starts going down the tubes.
No, not that way.
Oh, okay. So the 57th pick in the draft is going to have a significant role this year.
You know what? I don't see guys as numbers. Sometimes guys outplay where they were drafted or whatnot, and there's been Brock Purdy on line 1.
Oh.
So if I'm telling you, Steiny, he brings something they don't have, an element, man. And he got to make the most. You could call it pressure, but it's pro sports.
Is there any Warrior player that you're not high on?
Oh, come on, Steiny.
Because you love Pajemski. You love Trace Davis.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
I love the squad right now.
Yeah. He didn't like Poole. Now that Poole's gone.
I've been injured before, people. They're saying that because I didn't know what Rice was.
Let's go to Lee. Lee's in Fairfield. Hey, Lee in Fairfield. How are you, man?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, what's going on, Steiny?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Steiny, that was a good observation you made about Wiggins and his relationship with Poole, because maybe he needed to go to it. Maybe this is him leaving has had some impact on him. So that's one thought, just what your feelings about that. And then the second one, we went through the whole offseason with this, we need a big thing, and we right back here again, man.
Wow.
We still need a big thing. Here's my final thought. Why didn't any of the bigs choose the Warriors? The Lakers get 2, Phoenix got 1, nobody chose the Warriors.
I think part of the reason, honestly, is they don't prioritize it, Lee, because over the years, only a certain type of big man's been able to play for him. Just being tall doesn't get you on the floor at Golden State. You got to be tall, and you got to be smart. You got to be able to pass a little bit.
And what if, you know what? He's got me thinking that look that Evan sent us of Steph Curry, and I believe, who was our girl that called in and said earlier?
Amy,
look at my guy. About that, again, this is just a quick thought. I'm wondering if Steph realized, we're playing this Cavs team. If we're really going to get it done, we got to have some size. And that kind of was like, just early, like, boy, we ain't there yet in that regard as far as size. Maybe that was going through his mind.
Maybe.
Because he had a deep look, Steiny, like, man.
All right, let me throw this at you. It's going to be a little controversial, and I'm going to need you to be a grown-up about it, though.
As long as you mean it and you're not trolling. Oh, here we go.
Well, I definitely mean it.
All right.
I wouldn't call it trolling. I would just throw it out there. Okay, so again, last year, I think Poole's getting an unfair amount of the blame for this chemistry. Now all of a sudden, like Draymond is off the hook for all the chemistry. It's Poole. Okay. So my question is this, and my what I said Friday was, okay, Jordan Poole was with the Warriors 4 or 5 years. He was involved in one thing. He's gone now. Like, why would we trust Draymond Green like he's been in 4 or 5, and how come Draymond? We don't question that. So my question is this: if Andrew Wiggins somehow, some way is laconic because of Draymond Green, does that mean Draymond's an issue? In other words, wouldn't that technically mean all Draymond's issues haven't gone away, or all the team's issues have not gone away because Draymond still here and he hasn't earned back the respect from everybody on the team?
I love the thought, but at the end of the day, I would say hell no, that's not on Draymond's ledger. That's on Andrew Wiggins' ledger. Like, dude, come on, you got to let that S go. It kind of messed us up last year, but dude, you had all the offseason to get past this. Yeah. This is not 10th or 11th or 12th grade. This ain't even college, dog. And you're in what teen year? You got youngsters looking up to you. We need you to be their OG. So let that go. That is just, there's no way that's it with Wiggins.
No way.
That was it.
Now, you can say no way.
But because there's only one person looking bad in this scenario, basketball bad, is Wiggins is doing it to himself because he's pouting. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
All I'm saying is...
You know what I'm saying now? What if he was scoring 35?
He's not.
Well,
he's not.
We wouldn't even be thinking about this.
Well, that's right. And he's never scored 35. Right. So here's the point I'm making is if you believe Poole and Wiggins were tight, and now Poole's gone, and if Wiggins is feeling some kind of way about Draymond Green, maybe he's not feeling him. He doesn't want to be a team. If you know what? At that point, yeah, it's easy to say, well, that's on Wiggins. But you know what? It's also on Draymond. And it's the price you might have to pay for having him on the team. And it's like, see, like the listen, again, it's a hypothetical, but it's the exact thing I mean. Just because Draymond says we got great chemistry, it doesn't mean anything to me coming from him.
I'm not mad at you.
That's all I'm saying.
But I got text of the day for you, Steiny. You told me 30 minutes ago, you said, Goo, this is who Andrew has been. Mm-hmm. And the 415 says, okay, was Draymond a huge problem for Wiggins in Minnesota for just floating?
Wait, was Draymond?
No, Draymond didn't even... So explain the Minnesota years, which I was kind of fighting on, you know? So this is more like who he is.
No, I hear you.
I'm not looking at you like that's crazy, but I just doubt it. Because I believe something would have been done.
Let me tell you
especially if they knew that Dre, and now you're telling me Poole left, but we got to, and I know this is TMZ, we got a Dre and Wiggins problem. It would have been fixed.
Stop it.
Watching Joe Lacob in that room, talk to us about this
Poole
team.
And Draymond fixable?
There was none of that. There was not a sense of, we got issues internally, man.
Oh, my God. So Joe Lacob came down to do a radio interview with the flagship.
And he was talking about the team off the record to us.
Right, and so because he came down here and was positive, you can't see how they might have any chemistry
I'm saying that wasn't fake energy, man.
What?
I don't believe that to be the case. I believe Wiggins is his own. He's got to snap out of it. Like, to say Draymond.
I don't think it's a stretch for me. Like, I don't know Wiggins. Yeah. I don't know Draymond. But I'll tell you what, just looking and seeing the last 3 or 4 years.
Which one it is, which one would you? I bet it's Andrew versus Andrew as opposed to Andrew being salty over.
There's no chance Andrew Wiggins loves Draymond Green.
That's not the question. That's not the question. We're explaining this play, though.
Well, all I'm saying is if you're not into it, you won't reach your potential as a player. The only way the only way to reach your potential as a player is if you're into it. The game, the team, your teammates, you're ready to sell out, you got chemistry, you have their back. If you're not into it,
I agree.
It's over.
I agree with that.
And right now, Wiggins does not look into it.
And you know what? He looks like he has it. Again, I can say this because this is how I feel. There is a chance, Steiny, he has not recovered for whatever he dealt with last year. Because he didn't do it in the playoffs when he came back, and it feels like it's there. You can say what you want about Andrew Wiggins. He ain't even playing like the Minnesota Andrew Wiggins. I'll leave that there. So that could be something. He could be just,
So why did
he's balling, but, or giving it his all.
So why did we assume that he was going to come back and, he's just fine?
That's the $1 million question. I thought time heals or whatever was going on would be fixed. And for him to come back, that symbolized to me last year that everything was good and on the home front or whatever.
Really, Goo?
Yeah.
Really? Maybe he came back because they said to him, hey, you in or you out, Andrew? You in or you out?
But don't you think we would have something?
No.
We would have got a crumb of that, like something would have leaked out.
Wiggins would have leaked it out?
No, just the whole people covering the team.
I thought the Warriors were so great about keeping stuff in-house. They had no suckers. They have no suckers.
Well, you heard what your boy bucked back. Steve Kerr. Well, it was after Friday's game. Let's lead last year in the past. That was the first time I heard that. I should ask Evan to grab that one. He said, last year, he was tired of it. And I'm wondering, okay, that shit signal maybe, I was just thinking about what you were saying, maybe that was all that it was, Steiny. It wasn't more than that.